today Brian's back, and we've been building a leadership culture. We've been building some consistency and alignment. And this call, he's been watching in the background, I know, but he's ready to roll. And with that, it's my honor to invite Bryan Benson. Welcome to the call. And you got the stage, my friend. I really appreciate you, and everybody appreciates you, Bryan. Thank you so much for being here, and we can't wait.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
You're
Is
good.
audio's good? All right. First of all, thank you for the kind introduction. Those are some big words, and I hope to live up to them. So it's really nice of you to say all those things about me, and I do appreciate it. As you mentioned, life sometimes has its own plans when you go left, right, life takes you to the right, or you want to go fast, life takes you slow, or you want to go slow. And this is kind of my situation right now. I took care of a fairly routine surgery, and like you said, there were a couple complications, and thank God everything's behind me now, and we can move forward with building the rest of this business, with getting some of the key components right here from a regulatory standpoint, um, from a technology standpoint. This whole Mika thing happened sort of, the countdown came while I was in my hospital bed there, or while I was recovering, and so, I got to look at that and really ponder how that affects Orem, how that affects our business, how our European partners and associates can continue to build the business and still be fully protected by the law. And I think we're pretty excited about what we've come up with here, as it relates to Mika, as it relates to further regulatory stuff, as it relates to the technology. And like you said, we have some pretty exciting announcements coming up here. This call is really not going to be this place for those announcements. I'm not going to tell you here's the announcement, and it's more to build a little bit of excitement for the Antalya trip that we have in 2 weeks, or a little less than 2 weeks, I guess now. And so yeah, I actually have the same PowerPoint that you just showed. There's a few extra slides, so I'm going to put it up on the screen, go over a few of the things. But there's really three or four key main points that I want everyone to understand off of this call. First of all, is gratitude from my part, from the rest of the founding team's part, from the ownership part, from all of those involved in building this. We're really blown away by the magnitude of what you guys have been able to build with us. So thank you. First of all, that's my message to everyone is great job, everyone, and thank you, and keep up the good work, because we're just getting started. So in the corporate team, Shane, yourself, Andrew, Ahmed, everyone that's really pulled a little bit extra weight with me gone. I work as hard as I can, but I still, when I'm absent, there's people that step in and do what needs to be done, and I'm really proud of the team, proud of all of those of you who have helped us during this time with my absence. So I think it's an exciting sort of break for me, because it gives me that energy to position myself for this next push that we have, which I think is going to be a pretty exciting one. As Shane mentioned, we already are growing by leaps and bounds in Nero. The 10,000 followers is a huge thing. We have lots and lots of users. We're able to grow even faster. The there's some issues, though. Also, I don't want to just pretend like it's all hunky dory and everything's been perfect. And we get this pop up from MetaMask sometimes that says, hey, be careful where you're connecting your wallet to, right? And these are things that we are very, very well aware of. The audits that we have been submitted to MetaMask, to Trust Wallet, to some of the other places, to be able to get those lifted. But that being said, there's a lot of things out there that to the untrained eye, it's a little bit maybe scary or a little bit undaunting. So yeah, we're trying to get all of those things sorted as best we can. So let me share my screen here. Is requesting my pass is probably the picker. Please, Shane, can you let me know if you can see my screen?
Yep, we're good. So you can, yep, perfect. If you want to,
All right, cool.
yep.
I'll try and make it big here. Full screen. All right, that should be better, huh?
It's good. Perfect.
Okay, cool. Um, so as I mentioned, guys, we have a lot to cover today. Hold on a sec. Sorry, I couldn't flip through the slides like that. Where did you go? Sorry, guys. I just having one problem advancing the slides here. Give me a second. I think we'll just keep it like this. You guys can see the screen, correct?
Yep, we can see it. And if you want, I can pop up the PowerPoint. Oh no, I don't have the
Yeah.
PowerPoint. I'm gonna have the same problem. It's a PDF. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Well, here, let's just do it like this.
Yep,
I think that
perfect.
everyone can hear me okay, and I can see the screen, and let's try and get through this the way that we have this here. So, as mentioned, we have a promotion that we are announcing today that's already live, as mentioned, as of 8 p.m. So a few minutes ago. Um, and we're not telling you where it is yet. So it's like 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 Shane said, it's going to be one of the most amazing experiences that we could bring to you. We're really excited to do that. I I'm excited. I think this is going to go in the first day or two or three or four here because 250 places is really easy for us to fill with the amount of people that we have there. Tens of thousands of people out there building businesses. So stay tuned for this, but we're going to announce it in Antalya. Um, we're going to we're going to do a couple other things as well. So let me show you this. So the way that you qualify for this, and again, I don't want to spend too much time on this. You can go into the back office, you can talk to your upline, you can look for this information out there. But the qualification criteria are 50,000 in direct sales. EXA about packages sales and gold RW investment are included, and all qualifying sales must be completed through the Web3 wallet. So if you're sending money the way that we used to a month or two or three ago, this is not going to get you qualified for this. You need to go into there where it says connect wallet and connect one of the many wallets that Shane said that are out there, be that Trust Wallet, MetaMask, and all those other good ones. So that's really the most important part of it is don't get these sales and then have them come through another wallet system and then be mad when you didn't qualify, right? It's very clear that this is a way for us to help us push our Web3 connectivity, continue to grow that part of the business, continue to get some more deposits over on that side. So please, if you're interested in this promotion, make sure that you're following along with that part of the rule because it'd be a real shame if you got the dollar figure, but then it didn't come in through the right kind of wallet, and we would hate to have it disappointed people like that. So please help us with that. Now the invitation is for two to an exclusive Aurum Mastery experience, we're calling it, and like Shane said, it's at a 5-star hotel. It's 3 nights. It's going to be exclusive. You're going to get to meet with some of the corporate team. I'll probably be there. Shane will probably be there. We'll look forward to having a really great time. But more importantly, we will look forward to sharing some of those leadership skills that Shane is the master of. That's why he gets the mastery call. But Ahmed as well, and HP and Tom, and everyone out there that's doing such a great job in building the business. So, and then there's one other part of this that I think is pretty cool. Not only do you get to qualify for a trip, but there's also some prizes that are going to come out of this as well. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 fun bag here. You get qualified for the trip, and then you get a chance to win some of these prizes here. So as you can see, there's some RWA prizes. There's a watch. There's those gold bars are hard to get through the airport, but they're pretty nice to have. So. The Dubai experience for two is also a nice one, and then we're giving away $5,000 in RWAs of tokenized Spirit Hills Bali tokens. So those are some of the the awards that are going to be there on top of the award of getting to come to the event and getting to be part of the mastery session. And so I think it's really exciting. We're going to be talking about that and going into that a little bit more on the 17th and 18th over in Antalya. And then you sort of stole my thunder on this one as well. But yeah, 10K is a really, really nice number to hit in such a short amount of time. And these, we're not buying followers for this. We're not, promoting this in a way where, airdrop hunters or, by the millions coming over trying to get $5 or something. This is real people that are interested in this product, that are following us, that want to hear updates, that want to see how it's going. So if you are on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, go over there and give us a follow. It's Nero_network actually. And so you have to follow at Nero_network, but you'll find it. It's the one that's there, and it's the one that I'm following, as you can see there below. So if I'm not following it, it's the wrong one. So yeah, try and make sure that you're doing it there. But yeah, it's really showing what it's showing me is that we have a lot of traction in the market already, right? We launched this during my time away, actually, and Andrew did such a great job of building the product. He's one of the co-founders over there, so building the product, coming on board, becoming our COO. He did all that stuff in my absence, and the team was really amazing. Ahmed, Shane, and all the other people, on the marketing team and in the back office team and in the ops team. So kudos to everyone. Really excited about not only Narrow, but about how it's growing, how the network is accepting this as a beautiful thing for us. The ability to have more transparency in a product. This was something that we were being asked every day, multiple hundreds of times a day. Like, hey Brian, how can I see the transactions? Hey Brian, where can I go to look at what's happening with the AXI bot? And that's the reason that we brought this product to the market, is because now people can go and they take a look at exactly what's happening. It's all happening through their wallet. It connects to the smart contract, and the magic happens there. So I'd recommend everyone, if they haven't given it a try, please go over there and see what you can see. Okay, the last thing that I want to mention here excuse me, before we wrap up the call is the regulatory side of things. I mean, I think everyone knows that this is something that's very, very, very important to us, to our community, to our company, and we need to get this right. And we can't just this is not a game at this point anymore. We're too big to fail now, and we have to take this in the right direction from a global regulatory standpoint. And to me, that's something. My face is on the front of this. I'm one of the ambassadors of this company. I want us to do the right thing, and every step of the way that we can be as regulated as possible in the products that require that regulation, right? And I think that is one of the keys that a lot of people don't understand, is when they see this regulation coming at them, they're like, oh gosh, they got us. Oh no, it's over. Oh God, what, and that's not the case at all. This is actually a positive thing for us, right? Because it helps us to build the kind of company that we want, that's going to last a long time, right? And so as we position ourselves with the licenses that we have, that we've had in the past, that we're continuing to develop, and the ones that we're continuing to invest in, let's say, I'm pretty excited about where it's going. It's not happening fast enough for me, but it's going the right direction, and I'm happy with the outcome. So what I wanted to talk about on this slide is just the new entity that we have. We hinted at this a couple weeks ago, and now we're happy to announce that part of this strategy, we've completed the acquisition of an SRO. And so what does an SRO means? You guys can go out there and look at it on, ChatGPT or Google it or put it in the dictionary or something. But what it essentially means is it's a type of entity that's able to use internal regulations and internal compliance to fulfill the regulatory needs of the regulator. And so that's what we have. It's a FINMA backed one. So in Switzerland, the financial regulator is called FINMA, and FINMA has this type of entity called the SRO, which is the self-regulatory organization. So we're excited to announce that this is going live. This has already been acquired. We're working on the integration, and this gives us a lot of regulatory protection, because now we're able to funnel the parts of the business that require this type of regulation through the Swiss entity, and everything will be good. So I think, the question I get is, well, what does this do for us, Brian? It's great. It sounds nice. Thank you for all the pretty words, but like what's the brass tacks here? What's the skinny on this one? And so I think if you could take a look at this here, we've narrowed it down to about I don't know, seven or eight different really solid answers. I think what it gives us is a couple different things, but it gives us the ability to continue the products that we have planned. That's the important thing for me, right? We didn't want this regulation to come and say, hey guys, you know, can't do what you're supposed to do. No, no, no. What we wanted to do is figure out as the MiCA regulation came, as there's other regulatory fronts, let's call it, or issues around the world, we want to be one step ahead of that and have the ability to build the business that we want, so that we can build the products that we've been planning all this time, right? And so I think the first one is digital asset services. There's two ways to do digital asset services, and Andrew explained it perfectly well last week. Custodial, non-custodial. Who holds the money? Do I have the money in my own possession at all times? That's custodial. I'm a custody, or excuse me, no, that's non-custodial because the bank or the entity doesn't custody my funds for me. Custodial means you give the money to the bank or to an institution or to an organization or to centralized exchange, or there's all these different kinds of ways to do it. And then those people are responsible. They're the fiduciary on your funds, right? And so we want to be real careful that we're doing this the right way. So digital asset service is the first thing. Forex and cryptocurrency operations is the second one. This gives us the ability to navigate the European market specifically in the best way possible. And then there's a few other ancillary things out here that I want to mention, but those are the two most important ones. Those first two there. I think from there you can can look at the rest of them sort of as ancillary sort of services that provide validity, let's call it, to what we're doing, right? AML compliance. So this is anti-money laundering. None of and money laundering is not a good thing. Like we all hear about it, or we've seen the movie Narcos, or these guys laundering all these suitcases full of money. But there's really a problem out there in the world if the terrorists have an easy way to get money to blow up things and to do bad things, right? None of us want that. Not one single person in Aurum wants any of that, right? But what I've noticed in my time in financial services, and specifically in crypto, is a lot of times they've used AML to get into things that aren't AML related, right? So they're like, ooh, this is an AML check. You get in and they're like, well, there's no AML, but there was this, and this that we saw, right? So we just want to make sure that we're on the right side of this from a moral philosophical standpoint, but also from an operational standpoint, right? Like no one wants to give the bad guys easy access to money. That's clear to everyone in this business, in this country, in this company, excuse me, not country. But that's what AML is all about, right? Is keeping track of millions of dollars aren't going into the wrong hands without someone being able to take a look at that, right? But then there's other things: OTC services, KYC, KYB procedures. So these are related to compliance. They're related to regulatory requirements. Is who is my customer? Can I prove who that customer is? ID that matches a face that has some sort of technology that's analyzing the face in real time with the name. These are pretty sophisticated things. We've all seen them in our banking apps and in our centralized exchanging apps. If you're using some of the bigger exchanges, they're going haywire with it right now. Can't even get into an OKX account without 47 times looking at your face and all this crap. So it's like, where's the balance between, is this good for the industry? Is it bad for the industry? Does it really protect, or does it just give a way into people's accounts and visibility and control? And so these are questions that go beyond Aurum, right? Beyond even just a country or a nation. I think it's a philosophical, almost human right. Like, can I have what I've earned, and can I keep it, and can no one take it away from me? And do I have the right to do that no matter who I am in the world? These are questions that go way beyond Aurum, and I think at Aurum we're trying to solve them, but it's a lot bigger than Aurum, and so I think this is what you're getting out of the SRO buy, though, is a lot of sort of like further steps down the road on each one of these. that's a big one, right? If you take in money from a known wallet that is doing really, really bad things, and then you want to go give it to someone else, that could be a problem for you. You know, those funds could be confiscated, or something could happen from a legal standpoint, from a law enforcement standpoint. And so we want to make sure that everyone is protected, not only Aurum and not only our our investments, but you guys that are putting the money in there, right? If someone sells you 1,000 USDT, but it comes from the wrong place, this could be a problem for you, not for the person that sold it to you, you know? And so this is what transaction monitoring can help us understand: is before you even take that money, before that money even hits your account, or your Aurum balance, or whatever it is that you're putting it in, your trust wallet or whatever, how do we make sure that that money is not coming from nefarious places where you, who are the hardworking citizen, are going to have a problem in the future? It's like, think about it. Like, if you went to the store, and every time you went to the store, they got out a chemical set and started testing your bills. And if one of those bills had some illicit substance on it, you were going to jail because you just tried to buy a pack of gum with that. You know, that's kind of, if you can get your mind around it, that's a little bit about what we're talking about here, right? Is like, how do we monitor transactions, make sure that there's no money laundering, make sure that we know where it's needed, and we're doing the right thing so that the bad guys don't win. That's in essence what we're trying to do, and the SRO is one of the first steps to get us further down that road. So yeah, I guess without further ado, I'm going to close it here, and we're getting close to the hour here. So what are we focused on here? The acquisition comes at a very, very key time for us, because it allows us to still play ball in Europe with the MiCA regulatory area. So we have the non-custodial, decentralized side of it. We have the SRO side of it, and it's the best we can do. We're going down the right path and doing some great things for our partners, for our customers, for our company, for everyone involved. So many companies aren't taking this strategy, this approach. I think it's a really good one, and we're going to continue to execute it. It's part of our long-term strategy. It's not the only thing that we're doing, but it is an important part of where we're going. So it gives us the ability to expand regulatory into a deeper financial infrastructure, and it gives us the ability to continue to pioneer this AI finance thing that is not going away. That is really pretty special, and that is, I believe, the secret sauce of what we're building here at Aurum. So want to thank everyone for their time today. Want to thank Shane, want to thank Andrew, want to thank Ahmed for building an amazing business here, an amazing network. We have some really talented and exceptional people. And that's not even talking about the leaders, you guys out there on this call, right? I know a lot of you guys personally, and I can't wait to see you guys in Antalya to catch up. But to really give you guys sort of some of that energy and some of that excitement that's coming out of me from having this time away from it, right? Sometimes when you go away from something, new vision, a new outlook on it, and that's exactly what's happened. And I couldn't be more excited about what's to come here. And Shane, I'm so sorry about Canada and the World Cup.
Yeah,
Hurts my
yeah.
heart. I'm sorry to all the Mexicans.
Hey, look,
But the
Canada
United
shouldn't have
States
even.
tonight, let's go, baby. Come
Yeah,
on, let's
yeah,
see if
yeah.
we can
But
make it work.
Canada
So
shouldn't have been there in the first place,
well,
So I
they're
mean,
hosting,
we're
so
so
they had to let them
proud of
in,
what they've
so.
done. But
So
hey,
anyway, no, they did good, man. But hey, anyway,
I
goodbye
just
to
want.
everyone,
Yeah,
and thank you. I'll turn it back over to you, and let you
yeah.
close the call out. Thanks,
Brian,
bud.
I just want to just mention to everybody, I've had so many conversations with you, and you always surprise me because I'll ask Brian a question, and I'm thinking, I think I know what he's going to answer, and he comes back with something and one of the questions I asked Brian, I said, what are you most excited about the future when we first met? What are you excited about? And his answer it kind of almost scared me, and he said, it's the unknown. I said, what do you mean the unknown? This has never been done. AI finance has never been done. And we are pioneering the entire AI finance sector. And we've got such a massive community and growing and growing. This is a pretty exciting. So do you still love the unknown? Some people, it scares them. The unknown scares them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do still like the unknown, but the one thing that I've noticed, and I'll amend my answer now, is the regulators don't like
Uh,
we do. So we have to make sure that we're doing the right thing, but keeping that energy and that excitement about what's to come. Because, like, if you think about it, if the regulators had their way, we wouldn't have computers, we wouldn't have newspapers, we wouldn't have any of the things that were major technological sort of revolutions. Those they were pumping the brakes on those. And so I think we can see a little bit of the same. So yeah, I'm absolutely uh, over the moon about the unknown, but I'm also trying to now dial back that unknown part of it so that the regulators can know enough about us to be very happy and love us a lot. So that's my answer, slightly amended, but still the same one.
Thank you. Thank you. Bryan Benson, CEO of Aurum Foundation. And that's clarity. I mean, that's what we're talking about. That's what the market window looks like from someone who's been on all of the world the biggest stages in crypto. So here's what we're doing. Let's wrap this up with that we're really building a culture here, aren't we? We're building a culture of consistency. We're building a culture of alignment. And in this room, we're positioning really strategically in a market moment that actually matters. I mean, this is history in the making. And so lead by example, you show the way, you grow first. You invite your team to grow with you as well as a leader. And next week, what we're going to do? We're going to focus on duplication that scales globally, right? How do you scale your community globally? We're going to talk about that on Mastery next week, and how to keep things simple enough for large numbers of people to repeat over and over a consistent period of time. How to avoid complexity. You don't want to go down that road. What do they call it? Complexity creep. It gets more and more complicated. The more you learn, the more complicated. Don't go down that road. And how to turn your personal leadership into a system that others can actually follow. If they can follow you, they can duplicate you. So come back ready. Bring your team. Bring your commitment. I want to thank bring your enthusiasm. Napoleon Hill often, the director of the Napoleon Hill Foundation often says, nothing great in life will ever happen without enthusiasm. Bring your enthusiasm. So thanks for being here, everyone. Thank you to everybody behind the scenes. Ahmed Zen, who's the co-founder of the partner division and the chief marketing officer, and all the technical people. Andrew, also Isaacs. I mean, everything is coming together here. Thank you also to all of you for stepping into your own leadership with the Aurum Foundation. And we'll see you right here next week on week 10 of the 90-day Mastery Series. Let's go.